Welcome to The Real with Joseph Labman. I am Joseph Labman. Thank you for tuning in this episode of The Real, taking time out of your day to come watch this episode. I really appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe for me. I'd really appreciate that as well. That's the best way you can support this channel and help me grow my content and grow this channel to where I'd like it to be. Everybody hit the like button for me on the way in on this video today. That also helps promote this video more in the algorithms, helps grow this channel more as well. Please share this content. I would really appreciate that. My guests would as well. If you would please share this episode with someone you know that maybe is interested in the topic we're talking about today. Please leave a comment below as well. We'd love to hear your guys' feedback. You can interact with myself and the guest on the panel and the live chat as well. Whatever we're talking about, just leave a comment there in the live chat. Pop in and say hello. We'll put it on the screen for you. And yeah, without further ado, let's get to the show. Welcome back to The Real with Joseph Labman. I am Joseph Labman. Hope you guys are having a great night. Like I said, if you're new here, please like, subscribe, and share. I'd really appreciate that. It's the best way you can support this channel and help us grow more. And welcome into The Real. Loaded show tonight. Excited for this one. Should be a lot of fun tonight. I think we'll have some couple guests up here, so I'm looking forward to that. Fix my camera here. Yeah, so that's what we're going to hit on the latest LeBron news and keep an eye on that. And we'll be talking mainly about that tonight. And then I got my man Mike Antonace, the man, the myth, the legends in the house tonight. Mike, what's happening?
Hello, beautiful people. How art thou?
Good. How are you doing, Mike?
I am fantabulous this evening. Cannot complain other than the just rifling humidity that's been going on. Other than that, I'm great.
Yeah, Mike's not a fan of summer, to say the least.
I almost said a swear. I hate the summer.
Go Knights. We're almost football season. Football season's around the corner, Mike. And
bang, bang.
We're actually going to start tonight, guys, with a more serious topic. Obviously, we're going to hit on real quick and just obviously it's related to the Browns. So, yesterday some serious news came out about Browns rookie running back Quinshon Judkins. Quinshon Judkins was arrested in Fort Lauderdale, I believe, over the weekend. On the 12th, I believe he was arrested. So yesterday or the day before. So just in recent days, he was arrested over the weekend on some serious charges of battery, domestic violence. It sounds like. So I know it was a misdemeanor, battery, domestic violence. He was released today on a bond of $2,500. So here's the latest report today for Quinshon on Quinshon Judkins in this situation from the local news down there, who caught up with him when he actually got released from the jail.
Rookie running back Quinshon Judkins was arrested by Fort Lauderdale police for domestic misdemeanor battery. He bonded out of jail Sunday afternoon.
Do you have any comments or charges against you? Did you hurt your girlfriend?
Judkins was escorted out by a man with a blanket over his head. He got into a truck without saying a word. According to police, they were called for a delayed battery. Officers say an investigation revealed evidence that a battery took place.
It happened on July the 7th, according to the arrest affidavit, after they left the airport. She didn't report it until the 12th.
His lawyer says after the alleged abuse happened, the victim stayed with the 21-year-old for 5 more days.
Celebrated her birthday. There was some type of a spectacle that she got involved in, and it wasn't until after that she made this after-the-fact report. Well, the A form suggests that there are photos and bruising. There's no proof as to when those bruises took place.
The former Ohio State running back helped lead the Buckeyes to a national championship. Now, according to a spokesperson for the Browns, the team says it's aware of the arrest and gathering more information. He was expected to show up for training camp Friday, July 18th.
The 21-year-old has been told by a judge he cannot have contact with that victim. We are asking police for more information on this. We're live in Fort Lauderdale. Bridget Matter, Local 10 News.
Okay, so that's the local news of the latest report. Obviously, his lawyer spoke on their side of the story. Obviously, there's two sides of the story, Mike. And
yeah,
obviously, not what you want to hear. Forget the Browns. Just forget a game. It's just a serious situation, obviously, with a potential victim involved. And obviously, it's all allegedly so right now. So, but very unfortunate, Mike, and right before training camp.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. I would harbor for people not to overreact without the information. This is America, I understand, like, these are some pretty serious allegations if they are true. Obviously, like, proper punishment should be instilled. However, innocent until proven guilty. We don't have all the facts. This legit just happened. So, I saw some people on Twitter freaking out, reasonably so. There's some pretty serious allegations, pretty serious charges, but we always got to remember that's what they are until you're convicted and they have proof that you did it.
Yeah, and last thing I'll say on this, Mike, I know we're just gonna keep this brief. Obviously, we're gonna talk about it because we do cover the Browns mainly, and obviously this is a big story, so it's just ongoing. We just came out, so just like the Browns, everybody's waiting for the more facts and details, and then we'll have a better analysis of it of what maybe really happened here and what could happen. But Mike, I saw a lot of people saying they're talking about blaming Andrew Berry and all this, but I know there wasn't a lot of flaws with him coming out of Ohio State, or if any. I don't think there was any red flags. And I know everybody thinks about the Michael Hall situation last year and, the reoccurring incidents. I don't think you could say it's a general manager problem or just an organization problem. I think it's just a league-wide problem, or really just a general problem. I'm not saying in terms of Judkins. Obviously, we don't know the facts here if he did anything or not. But I think we keep seeing the same story over and over again, and just all over, where a lot of guys too young, too early they get a lot of money and a lot of power, and their egos get big, and they get a lot of admiration, and you almost get treated like gods in some way.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that obviously gets to a lot of guys' heads, and I think a lot of guys do a lot of things too early that they're not prepared for, and they put themselves in situations that can end up the wrong way because they're not able, they can't handle things, or they really shouldn't be. They're too many responsibilities too early for that they don't know how to handle. They've never been taught how to handle, and here's a bag of money and all this stuff. You are who you are. You have you use your credentials, get in places you probably never got into before, and all this and that. And people are gonna people, and I'm not saying this today, again, not saying this case here, but women, or even vice versa, and just in life in general, people get more money and power, and people want to come, ride along with them, and sometimes a lot of people have the wrong intentions, and are out to just take the bag, as they say, you know what I mean, Mike, and so it's the same story we see all the time in sports, and really just in life in general, Mike. I mean, you see in the business world all the time. People we've known. They get a little more money, a little more power. Their ego goes up, and they start to attract things, and they can't handle things, and bad stuff happens. Unfortunately, it's the same thing over and over again. And I think it's a lot of people aren't, especially sticking to the NFL players. A lot of these guys, they really don't know how to handle a lot of this stuff, and or they it's the same thing over and over, Mike. That's all I keep thinking about. We see this all the time.
Yep.
You there, Mike?
Yeah. No, I said I said I must have cut out. I said I couldn't have said it better myself. Like, you put it perfectly. I mean,
I mean, a lot of people have talked about, is it the Browns issue, or is it the
it's not a Browns issue.
I think
it's an
more
NFL issue. It's an NBA issue. It's I mean, you don't see it so much in baseball for whatever reason, but you see it a lot in basketball. You see it a lot in the NFL. You've seen it in hockey a little bit. You just have these young dudes, like, I think, like you said, that get a bunch of money really early on, and get around the wrong element, or
how many guys they get a bunch of money, they go out and buy cars they really don't know how to drive, world-class sports cars, and they go out and drive them like maniacs on the freeway, and some instance some people died, unfortunately, and some other instance where they hit people, hurt people, and we've seen a lot of of that in college and pros. You give all these guys this kind of money, but you don't tell them how to really and again, I think it just goes back to the culture. And it's football, especially because I've been around it, and really athletics in general. It's a lot of these coaches, they really don't care. It's really just more, what can you do for me? You know what I mean?
Right.
Do for me, and getting a W in the win column, and we'll keep everything on the radar and try to keep things low key and all that. And I've been around some guys I grew up playing with that maybe weren't the greatest of habits and stuff, but we always tried to help them out, and but you also have to hold them accountable and try to show them a way of how to,
Right.
handle certain things, react differently, and to not get ahead of yourself, but that's not done nowadays. And I think it's good for more of these guys in the NFL that are a lot more mature, responsible, promote a lot of good things, especially about like the Lord. I was talking to a guy today who does that really well, a veteran in the NFL. If more guys like that can speak out and help some of these younger guys, I think that would really help more. But it's just that's not promoted, obviously. But
Right.
that's a problem in itself. So, but unfortunate news. Are you guys else you want to add on this, Mike?
No, I think we both said our piece. We both, with this particular situation, we don't have all the facts yet, but yeah, it is a problem that's been permeating the NFL. It's a league-wide problem.
Yeah, and
Needs to
I
be
think it starts
addressed
at
in some
the.
way.
I mean, it really starts back at the high school level, really.
I was just
'Cause
about to say that.
Yeah, because I'm around that, and I see a lot of guys, Mike, in high school that, they're freak athletes and stuff, and they can win you a lot of games, and people treat them like they're gods. I mean, and you get that big ego and that big head like that too early on in life, and a lot of these guys, I've seen them over and over again. Their talent makes up for their flaws that are, because it covers, or I say their talent covers up their, it's maybe not flaw, but things, maybe their wrongdoings. A lot of these, what I mean, like guys that aren't the highest quality of character, because a lot of them are made into that because they're treated like, put them on a pedestal at an early age like that, and again, it just, a lot of these coaches, like I said, just goes back to, it's all about getting wins, it's all about that, but it's not really about developing men, not really about developing character and helping these guys off the field, because football is just a game, and it's really a short part of your life. You know what I mean? Like a game.
Right.
There's a lot of guys that were great players, but were terrible human beings. We've seen, we've seen a lot of those guys, or just not the highest quality guys. Let's say that. Football is just a game. Basketball is just a game. Baseball is just a game. That game can't cover up, but that doesn't define really who you are. But a lot of these guys, I think, because they play a game so well that they can always just get a pass in life and just have no problem. And but once that game's over with, and sometimes in some cases, which hopefully we're not seeing here, but we don't know, obviously, but it could be another case of somebody who career cut short because of couldn't handle it and couldn't they never got to be the player they could have been, or and really their whole life, it's kind of just has this stain on it, and
Right.
but again, it's only that game's only a short part of your life. What are you doing in the real world, in your real life? Because once that game's over, you still got a large part of your life left to go live, and a lot of these guys can't function in that because they just think the game's going to protect them, right? Because they've always been protected by their coaches and people that to cover things up, and the money, and so they think they have this pass through life. So,
Right. Yeah.
not all. There's a lot of good ones, and I know a lot of them, but there's some though we've seen case after case over and over that but let me get on a rant there, but but obviously we'll stay up to date like everybody else, and we'll see what happens. Any breaking news on that, we'll cover it. So, but on to some more positive stuff, Mike. Yeah. Okay. It's happening, guys. Matter of days. Parent John's already talked about it. Hints that this insight between us three. Mike, I told you yes. He said just glad he would only drive a new Escalade. Yeah. Anyways, but so Paramount Mike said it's happening, guys, just a matter of days. And what's Paramount talking about, Mike? The
LeBron James.
Some more information has come out. This situation, Mike, just gets hotter and hotter by the day. I know there's a lot of different opinions on this. I've seen a lot of Lakers fans, Mike, who are pissed off and are like, quit talking about it. He ain't leaving. This is all media hype and all this. But maybe you should get mad at the guy that created the hype. So, like, I don't get why people get mad at people for covering something that they created. Like, LeBron created it. The Lakers have really done nothing to kind of help the situation.
Yeah, they've done nothing to mitigate it.
No, they've actually, by not acknowledging him opting in and all this, like, there's something clearly going on here. It doesn't take a Swami to figure that out. So, but now what's actually happening? And so I've said on this show for the last, I don't know, month now, ever since they sold that team, I said, I bet As soon as they sold that team, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if LeBron maybe changes his opinion if he wants to be in LA anymore, because his power was through Jeannie Buss. And Jeannie Buss, she's technically still a governor, but she's not paying the bills anymore. She really just gives input. She's a figurehead. It's just to keep the Buss name involved. No person's buying 85% of an organization. Still listen to the person they bought the 85% of. Does that make sense, Mike?
Yes.
No, I'm saying. Well, did you catch what I was even saying?
Hold on. Let me leave and come back in. I keep cutting in and out.
Oh, you can't hear me. Okay. All right. Well, Mike couldn't hear me. But yeah, again, nobody's buying 85% of an organization from someone just to listen to the person about the 85% from. That's not happening. And so, again, there's a new sheriff in town with Mark Walter, the new owner, who's going to be taking over fully by the fall, and he's in charge now. And so I said it that day when it happened. I said I wouldn't be surprised if there's a change that happens with LA and LeBron James. Like, I think LeBron's only got 2 more years left he wants to play. I think he wants to maximize those 2 years, and I think he wants it to go the way he wants it to go, which he may not be in LA. I think everybody always assumed he wanted to be a Laker and finish his career there, but a lot of people always thought maybe he'd want to come back home to Cleveland and maybe finish it that way, or however he wants to finish it. You back, Mike?
Yeah, I found out what was happening. One of my headphones was laying around, and it kept connecting to the headphone.
Humble's laughing. He said, "Does that make sense, Mike?" Yes. Have to clip that. But no, what I was saying, Mike, a lot of people are saying that, talking about, well, Jeannie Buss is still involved. She's a governor, but I said, Mike, she's just a figurehead. It's just to keep the name involved. She gives input, but why would the new owner listen to her when he bought 85% of the team from her?
Yeah, there's no point. I think they were just doing that as a kindness, because I know the Buss family does mean a lot to the Lakers
It's all
fans.
posturing is all it is.
It's all politics, yeah.
Yeah, it's all politics. It's just to keep a name involved. And really, if you think that's a big deal, keeping LeBron around, I don't think LeBron and Jeannie Buss relationship has been good in the last year either, to be honest with you. And you go listen to what Joe Von Buha said. It sounds like that relationship soured very fast, especially once they traded Luka for AD. Mike, that was the beginning of the new era in LA. The LeBron era was over, and it's now the Luka era. And you look at all the players they brought in this offseason, especially since LeBron's statement that him and Rich Paul put out, he'll be closely monitoring the Lakers, and LeBron understands they're building for the future, and he wants to win now. And all that we remember that statement from 2 weeks ago today. And here we are 2 weeks later, Mike, and all they've done is brought in DeAndre Ayton, who is a Duffy Sports client, who's Luka's agent, and a team is paying him to not play basketball for them. And, obviously know he's got a lot of upside. He's got a great talent, but there's still a lot of question marks with him. They brought in Jake LaRavia, Mike, who's a, decent player, but I don't think that's really moving the needle. And then they brought back Jackson Hayes, Mike, who, was on the team last year, at some points was unplayable. And not only did they bring him back, Mike, but, he's the same age as Luka too. And they gave him a no trade clause, Mike.
Mr. No trade clause.
There's 2 other players in the NBA that have a no trade clause, LeBron James and Bradley Beal. And now you can add Jackson Hayes to the list because
That's
his
amazing.
agent is the same as Luka Doncic, who clearly has all the power in LA, as we could see.
Yeah, I was about to say he must be the greatest agent.
Yeah. And
in
so,
NBA history so far.
Yeah, and we've heard all the stories the other day that came out, how after the season, Luka, his business manager, Rob Pelinka, and JJ Redick all went to lunch, but LeBron wasn't there right after the season. And, now they did clear up that they did inform LeBron. LeBron's camp, initially the report said they did not inform LeBron about the sale. They cleaned up the report and said that they did inform him about the sale. But does that really mean anything, Mike? Does that change anything? No, I don't think it really does. Whether he knew or he didn't know. If they didn't tell him, I actually think it would have been worse. But even if he did know or he didn't know, I don't think it changes it doesn't change the point. You know what I mean? It's not. LeBron's not staying because you told me you told me you're changing owners. No, how does he feel about the new owner? Does he have the power he used to have? No and no. He doesn't have he does not have the power he used to have. Clearly,
no, and they made it exceptionally clear. And I don't blame the Lakers for doing this. I don't think either party is wrong, right? I think that we kind of touched on this before. Like, I don't think either party is wrong. I don't think LeBron is wrong for being upset with the Lakers and wanting to leave. I don't think the Lakers are wrong for going to a more future-minded strategy, because the Lakers aren't in a position to win a championship soon, not in that Western Conference, certainly. And, LeBron's not in a position to wait because, he's in his 40s. He's got maybe 2 seasons left.
They're going two different directions.
Right. They're going 2 different directions. I don't blame either party for doing what they're doing. It's just one of those situations where I think a breakup is needed for both of them.
Yeah, and I don't get the people that think like LeBron wants to be there, wants to finish his career. That he literally just came out and told you in a statement that he doesn't really believe that they can win a championship.
Yeah, and that is his
said
goal.
In the statement. I mean, he said in the statement they're building for the future. I value winning a championship next season because I only have X amount of years left. And so, and when he says he's closely monitoring the situation, that means I want to see some moves made because this roster ain't good enough. We just got bounced in the first round. And so, yeah, they brought in DeAndre Ayton. I don't think DeAndre Ayton moves a needle. And oh, by the way, Mike, he didn't even contact DeAndre Ayton when they signed him. Per DeAndre Ayton said it. I heard somebody say yesterday they thought that was a made up. Well, no, DeAndre Ayton said it on ESPN LA in an interview. They asked him because he said, I heard from Luka, but I didn't hear from DeAndre Ayton. And it was like Gilbert Arenas said the other day, who's a former NBA player, him and Kenya Martin on their show, Gil's Arena, they talked about that. They're like, you ain't got to text a dude you ain't playing with next year.
Ooh.
Didn't even text the guy. And so, and then, Mike, last night, first, actually, when we heard Shams Charania came back out the other day on Sirius XM radio and NBA channel, on the NBA channel on Sirius XM, saying that within the next 8 weeks, Mike, we could have a resolution to all this, that LeBron maybe could be on the move. We saw that headline the other day. And then last night, Mike, I don't know if you want to say all hell broke loose, but there was some chaos a little bit at the NBA Summer League game. Obviously, the Lakers played last night against, I believe, the Pelicans. And LeBron finally pulled up to check out his son, Bronny, obviously, who's under contract and playing for the team right now, which, is obligation. And LeBron, Mike, pulled up to the game. And Dave McMenamin, obviously one of LeBron's, guy who's covered LeBron very closely since he was back here in Cleveland in 2014. Followed him out there to LA. He's kind of like his ESPN reporter guy. Here's his report last night, Mike, and try getting LeBron to speak on the situation, just a comment even. And here's what LeBron had to say, Mike.
I tell you, I can barely walk 5 feet in Vegas without someone approaching me and wondering that very thing. What caused the speculation was a statement by LeBron's agent, Clutch Sports CEO Rich Paul, given to ESPN's Shams Charania when James opted into the final year of his contract with the Lakers for $53 million last month, when Paul said LeBron intends to play on a championship contender for whatever time is left in his career and will be closely monitoring Lakers president of basketball operations, general manager Rob Pelinka's moves to improve the team at a training camp for his record-setting 23rd season in the fall. Now, I've checked in with both the Lakers and LeBron's camp on this one. For the Lakers, it's business as usual. They have motivation to compete at the highest level and maximize not just LeBron's timeline, but they want to compete now with Luka Doncic. Some have posited that the true cause of this situation was the Lakers not offering LeBron a contract beyond next season, but Rich Paul told me that they never asked for one. Paul also made it clear to me that LeBron has not asked for a trade, and Paul hasn't even discussed the possibility of wanting a trade in the future with the Lakers. Paul did tell me that 4 teams contacted him with interest in trading for LeBron, though. So now we wait. The Lakers have a full roster and have a decision to make on Shake Milton's contract by July 20th. They also had 3 expiring contracts in Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, who's here tonight, and Maxi Kleber, plus their 2031 first-round draft pick they can use in trade scenarios. Now, I asked him before tip-off if he'd like to join the broadcast to discuss everything, and he told me, quote, I ain't got nothing to talk about. Guys, thank you very much.
He ain't got nothing to talk about, Mike.
And their next first-round pick, did he say 2031?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, 2031. Anyways, so I don't really see any other moves they can make, Mike. They have no money. I don't see Parachon said LeBron loves LA. LA doesn't love him. Simple. But I don't see, Mike, any moves they can make from here to August 2nd when Luka's eligible for the extension that really is going to change his mind. I mean, I know I've heard some people say, well, this is the kind of team he likes. This is all LeBron just seeking attention, keep his name in the headlines and blah, 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 because he's not the guy anymore. I don't know why LeBron would go to this extent to do that, Mike. Does he really have to do that?
No, he doesn't. I don't. He could.
Now, could he be doing that?
different other ways.
Possibly. Could he just be doing this all for attention? Maybe, but I don't think it would.
If he wants attention, he can go about it a different way. He's the biggest name in basketball.
Exactly. He can go about it a totally different way. Him just playing golf went viral. I mean, he doesn't have to do all this for that. I mean, I don't. That doesn't make any sense to me. He's done it. Could you say maybe that's happened in years past? Yeah, but this situation is unlike anything we've ever seen. This is there's something clear, obviously going on here, and where it's dragged on this far. If it was a nothing story, it wouldn't be dragged on this far by now. People would have gave up on it, or I don't see why the Lakers even want all this drama going into the season. And so, something's going on here, Mike. What's your thoughts about what happened last night, Mike? What do you think about his comments where he said, "quote I ain't got nothing to talk about"? What do you think he's possibly doing there?
Well, I mean, it's doing two things. I think it's more like, he has nothing to speak on the Lakers. He doesn't really want to talk about the situation, or there's something happening where he can't actually talk about it. He's never been like that shut off with the media during the off season. It could have been one of those things where it's like there's so many cogs in motion with a potential buyout or even a trade that LeBron doesn't want to jeopardize anything by talking. You know what I mean? Because he's smart. He knows.
Could be, I ain't got nothing to talk about because I already made my point clear.
Yeah. That could have been very. That could have been.
You heard what I said, and this is where we're at.
Yeah, could very well be that as well.
Yeah, because I mean, and by the way, the report also mentioned Rich Paul said there was 4 teams that acquired on LeBron via trade. Scoot B, the NBA reporter, said today that the 4 teams were the Cavs, Mavericks, Warriors, and Clippers. Just want to point that out there. So, do I think LeBron's getting traded? No, I don't think LeBron wants to trade on his resume. I don't think that's happening. I don't think the Lakers will want to trade LeBron either because he has a no trade clause, meaning he can dictate where he goes. Let's say he wanted to go to the Mavericks. The Mavericks basically give the Lakers whatever they want just to match the salary. I don't know if the Lakers have that 2026, 2027 plan to keep their cap space clear. I don't know why they would want to just bring back whatever salaries that could potentially hurt them in their cap. Maybe not, but you don't know what you're getting back. I don't know this, I don't know this contract. Dallas could be trying to get off a bad contract because, again, he has a no trade clause if that happened. I don't know why the Lakers would do that. And so I don't see that happening. Now, a lot of people would say, why did LeBron opt out? Why didn't he just opt out? He could have been free. Well, had LeBron opted out, any other contending team he would have went to, let's say the Cavs and the Mavericks, he only would have got the minimum deal, Mike. And so I think my theory is that maybe the reason why he opted in, because you remember Tim McMahon the other day on ESPN with Brian Windhorst on Get Up said there's a lot of rumor behind the scenes right now. People are speculating behind the scenes around the league that maybe LeBron's trying to bully them into a buyout. And do I think the Lakers will buy him out at $53 million? No, and nor should they. But I think LeBron understands, Mike, that he knows what his value is, but he also knows what his age is. He's not the only team that could have gave him that kind of money somewhere else if he opted out would have been Brooklyn. Well, he's not going to Brooklyn. And so, again, if he would have opted out and went to a contender, he would only got the minimum. I still think LeBron, as he should, still feels I need to get paid a certain amount for what I'm worth, which I think he has every right to do that. And so I think he opted into $53 million, Mike, knowing that if I can get them to agree to a buyout, I could work that number down to, let's say, I'm just throwing a number here. Maybe it could be more, it could be less. $25 million, let's say, $30 million, right? Now I get bought out for $25 million, and I go to the Cavs and I get whatever the minimum, maybe he'll get $3, $4, or $5 million, whatever it is. And now I still get paid that X amount of money next season on a contending team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, get the money and also get the opportunity to win a championship. And out of those 4 teams, I mean, the Cavs have the easiest path, and you already have the relationship there with the city, the fans, the owner, the GM. trying to think if he's well, and also if he does that, I mean, Kevin Love is already rumored to come back to the Cavs as well, because it sounds like he's going to get bought out, and that would be wild for them to play, because they still have that relationship. And I know your dad is a Tristan Thompson hater, I get it, but him and LeBron are still tight and still friends.
He ain't gonna be on the roster though. I don't think he's on the roster right now.
Is he not?
No, he was a 1-year deal. Shout out to Tune In Sports. Salute, brother. I think Tune's will be coming up here in a second. I sent him the link.
He'll be around, though. I mean, where's he going to go? He'll be around.
I don't know. He can go wave the towel from the box office. I don't know.
Yeah,
but,
cool.
Yeah, I don't know. But no, I mean, in all seriousness, though, I think it's heading towards a buyout. Here, I don't think LeBron, Mike, opted in and just hoped for the best. LeBron's not that stupid. Yeah. He's always been very calculated. Whatever you think of the guy, one thing that you got to give the guy credit for is he's always been basically a mobile agent. And him and Rich Paul have always been very calculated, and they've always had his way of controlling and his own destiny and having a pathway out of it. I think they had a plan A, B, and C, and D when they did this. They know what they're doing. They understand what they want. The statement they put out is very calculated. Everything that's happened since then, all the cryptic stuff and last night, all calculated. They all know what they're doing. He's not that LeBron. He's very smart. He's a shrewd operator. He's always has been his whole career. And I think he knows what he's trying to get. And I think that's my theory. I think he's trying to get the money and the contending team all in the same, which I think he probably will get both. Because if I'm the Lakers, Mike, why would you want this guy? Clearly the relationship soured between him and the organization. And I don't know, if I'm the Lakers, why would I want to take the risk of bringing that guy back in the building? Because man, you bring him back in the building, the dysfunction that could be going on, because once they lose 2-3 games in a row, all eyes gonna be on LeBron. His body language, is he pissed?
Oh, yeah.
Is he checked out? Like, that's a dark cloud that hangs over your team. You got Luka Doncic now. Why not just fully embrace that and really just take off in that new era and leave that era behind? You got the championship out of it. He passed Kareem in all-time scoring list in the Lakers uniform. You got the two things you wanted. You drafted his son. You got the revenue from that last year. And so why not just move on? And I think they would. I think they would, because there's another report that came out from a reporter in Arizona who's plugged in, who said the Lakers want to move on from LeBron ASAP. And I think LeBron is just pushing the needle, Mike. He won't talk on it like when he says that last night. I'm not talking about it because I made my point clear. I'm sure there's been a lot said behind the scenes. You know what I mean? I'm sure people feel a certain way. Clearly, it sounds like the relationship's not on good terms. I think LeBron's just kind of pushing the needle each day. Every time something comes out, and eventually it's going to end up at a buyout, I think. But now I think it's coming down to what's the number they'll agree on in a buyout where they both feel comfortable with it.
Yeah. They just got to agree on the number, and then that's when the real fireworks started. And it's going to take. I mean, it's going to be one of the biggest sports stories of the past 5 years. I mean,
that's definitely a big deal. I mean, even at 40-some years old, I know a lot of people are saying in our chat, he's old, he can't help you, he's washed. But here, LeBron's still one of the top 5-10 players in the league, in my opinion. He still does things nobody else can do. And right. I think he could still definitely help the Cavs in many, many ways. And I think he can help even a team like the Mavericks, even if he went there. Well, I think the Mavericks are a wild card. I mean, I know all the rumors behind the scenes. I've even heard that myself from people, but I think the Cavs are more likely. The Cavs have the easiest path to the championship in the East. The Eastern Conference is wide open next year, Mike. And I think the NBA would be interested in LeBron being back in the East Coast, especially the LeBron in that Cavs uniform, the whole homecoming story, end of his career. That's box office. I mean, people really want to see that. Oh, yeah. I think that's a bigger appeal than this whole LeBron Hollywood retirement story. I think people are tired of seeing LeBron in the Lakers uniform, unless you're a Lakers fan that likes LeBron. I think it's kind of maxed itself out. Like, I'm not really that interested, to be honest with you. I'll watch, but I'm not like, I think it's more the storybook ending. And again, it's not about what they want. It's not about the Lakers want. It's not about it's about what LeBron wants. And he said that in a statement. I mean, he said he wants to do it his way. And I'll pull that statement up again right here. The best, to me, I think he wants the best storybook ending for him is coming back to Cleveland. And I think it's a great way for him. He's always given back to the community in many ways. I think this would be another great way to get back to the community, Mike, to bring that back to your hometown. Again, right here, LeBron, we do want to evaluate what's best for LeBron at this stage in his life and his career, not about the Lakers. And so It's about what he wants. And so
Right.
I think the NBA, though, will be fascinated having him back in the East Coast, Mike, because there's no superstar in the East Coast next year. And the NBA is rebranding the whole NBC, and there's no superstar on the East Coast because Jason Tatum's out, injury. They're either injured or there just isn't one. I mean, you got Giannis, you got him, but I think you need one more. Like, I think it would benefit the league with the reboot next year with NBC and all that. LeBron back in Cleveland, that's a major story, and he's on a real contending team. I mean, obviously the Cavs have been, trying to get over the hump for the last X amount of 3 years now in the second round. You put LeBron on that team, I think they're the odds-on favorites to come out of the East, Mike.
Yeah, especially if we don't have to give up anybody. I mean, a starting five that includes him, Darius Garland, and Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. I mean, geez, like that's
look at your bench. You got Lonzo Ball, you got Max Strus, you got
Larry Nance Jr.'s back.
Larry Nance Jr. back, DeAndre Hunter you acquired. You bring back maybe somebody else. I mean, that bench is looking really good too. You brought back Sam Merrill, the shooter. I mean, you got shooting, you got size, you got defense, you got playmaking, rebounding, more defensive versatility. It's a team it's a team built for him to plug and play.
Yeah, Jalen Tyson strikes me as a player that he's exactly what I thought Isaac Okoro was going to be. Is what I think Jalen Tyson is going to be. Just
Have
like
you watched a little bit of summer league.
Here and there, I'll be it, not a ton.
Yeah. Tune, if you're still watching or whoever, I'll put the link in the chat. If you guys want to come up here and give your take on this. I know Tune's got some stuff to say on this. I actually yesterday when I turned the live off, I was waiting for somebody to come up here. And as soon as I hit the end live button, Mike, that's when he popped in the studio. And so I felt bad. But Flores, if he wants to come up here and give his take on this, I'm really curious to see what he has to say. And whoever, Humble, if you want to come up here too, or whoever. But yeah, Mike, I mean, like, I think you hit the nail right on the head. I think it'd be we both hit the nail on the head, rather. That it would be a storybook ending, number one, but also I think he would help that team instantly. I think they would be the favorites. And I mean, I don't know who in the East, Mike, I would pick to even go against them. Who would beat them?
I mean, the way those teams are right now, I mean, there's not really any like tough competition out there. I mean, people keep saying Orlando, and I like Orlando. They're a scrappy young team. Paolo Banchero has superstar talent. I think he's still too young. It takes a minute for NBA players to develop, but like, I don't really see anybody else. Detroit's young and scrappy, and they got some talent everywhere. Cade Cunningham is excellent, but I think they're still a couple years away from really contending. Yeah, I mean, there's not really a lot of talent without Halliburton or Tatum, and Milwaukee is kind of a shell of itself. I don't see it, man. Like, I really think, and like people say Miami, but like their best player is Tyler Hero, who's good.
They're not anything serious. Yeah, I mean, maybe Milwaukee. I don't know, but I don't see.
Honestly, outside of Orlando, I don't see another team that's like even all that great, other than the Cavs. Yeah, at least currently with the injuries.
I mean, you got the Knicks, obviously, but
New York. I'm never gonna say anything nice about them. You know that.
Sure, we'll have somebody in the comments that's coming back at you, but because they are everywhere. But he said Jalen for Bronny straight up, then Bron reaches the buyout from the Lakers. Well, I think if the buyout would happen first. Now the Bronny thing, that's interesting. I'm be honest with you, Parent-John. I know Tunes. I claim for Tune to get up here because if he comes up here, because I thought about this. I know he's gonna hate this, Mike. I'm not saying I would do this either, but if I had to guess based on the writing on the wall, Mike, I could totally see a Jalen Tyson for Bronny trade.
No,
and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm not saying I would do that. It's gonna be one of these two guys. It's gonna either be Jalen or it's gonna be Tyrese, the guy we just took, because you're not gonna. Yeah, or what am I? How do I say this? When they drafted Tyrese Proctor, Mike, I kind of looked at him and I was like, he's a better shooter than Jalen Tyson, but he does a lot of the same things as Jalen Tyson. You know what I mean? Same size.
Yeah.
Ball handler. They're kind of similar in a lot of ways. I could totally see. I think they would keep the new kid because he's a better shooter, and maybe has more upside. Actually, to be honest with you, but offensively, although Jalen does a lot of good things, but I could totally possibly see that trade going down. I'm not saying I would do that, but again, who knows? What do you think about that, Mike?
I mean, I'd try and give them anybody else besides Jalen Tyson. I mean, I could see why they would do that. I would do that trade in a minute if I was the Lakers GM. But like, no, give him Sam Merrill, give him fucking Dean Wade, and give him Dean Wade and Sam Merrill. I don't care who you got to give up.
Well, I'll give him Dean Wade, Dean, or he can take his tractor out there to LA.
Yeah, dude. Like I think Jalen Tyson's got great upside. I mean, he showed some flashes in year one, and that's with extraordinarily low playing time because of the way we were constructed. I think that would be a big mistake on the Cavs' part. I think Jalen Tyson can give you some really good minutes this year. And here, I get it. I mean, Bronny's going to want to come out here, but who's to say without LeBron James, they just don't release Bronny? Like,
well,
that's
he's
a problem.
He's got 2 more years left on his contract. I think they would want something for him. I mean, they spent a draft pick on it. I think they would want something for him.
I'll mail them what's popular in Los Angeles. I'll mail them some fish tacos or something.
Yeah, or some. Well, I don't know. I think it'll be a trade if it does happen. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened, Mike. That's all I'm saying. I just when they drafted Tyrese Proctor, I was kind of like, well, it's a little similar to what we drafted last year. Better shooter, but kind of similar in a lot of ways. Is a writing on the wall. I don't know, but shout out to LaMalcolm. He said LeBum owned the Lakers and he will go with Jenny. Then he said LeBron to the Wizards for the whole team.
That's funny, but that would not make the Lakers better.
Yeah, Wizards are just that bad.
That would not make the Lakers better.
They are. What's that? People say basketball Siberia.
I mean, Siberia is nicer than the Wizards, dog. Like, I don't even know if that's like you going to frickin' Mars, dude. You go to the Wizards, you're in a barren wasteland, bro. There's nobody around. You're in the saddest spot. You're hoping. That's why, like, people are like, I don't know, maybe I'll just go play baseball or something. Like, you are better off doing anything else. You're better off once you land in Washington, D.C. to get a job at the local Subway than you are to keep playing for the Washington Wizards. And if you're a Wizards fan, I have nothing but pity for you. I'm so sorry, man. To all the Wizard fans out there, or I don't know how many of you there are. I'm sorry, dude. That's a shame. At least when you guys were the Bullets, you had a cool name. But, like, damn, the only thing magical, you guys aren't magical. Even if you're the Wizards, you guys are cursed.
Man, yeah, it's definitely rough. It's definitely rough to be a Wizards fan.
Poor bastards.
I'm gonna see. Tune, if you're still watching, let me know if you come up here in the chat, and I'll wait for you. Whoever wants to come up here. If not, then we'll start to head towards the winding it down. But yeah, Mike. I mean, again, this is a fascinating story. One of the most fascinating stories I've ever seen with this whole LeBron thing this offseason. No matter what the outcome is, I mean, very odd, very strange, very kind of like no information a lot of times too. I mean, even sometimes the insiders are up there going, "We have no new information." Like, there's no updates. I remember Brian Windhorst said there's no new updates. And so that usually tells me there's something going on behind the scenes. You know what I mean? I think we're going to get to a resolution on this. When do you I think, Mike, we could get to a buyout probably before August 2nd when Luka's eligible for an extension.
Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. I mean, it could come sooner, just so I don't know how long they're going to want to drag this out or what have you.
It reminds me when LeBron left Miami to come back to Cleveland, that same day, July 11th, 2014, when he announced he was going to come back to Cleveland, Miami signed Chris Bosh immediately. And so I think teams like to have that. You know what I mean? One guy leaves, it's a big name, but we need that other guy to come in and, you know what I mean, have that other story to kind of overtops that so fans feel better. You know what I mean? And so I could see that timing with those two, the extension and then the him leaving, I think, could all be in the same day. So maybe August 2nd, could that be the day? I don't know.
Yeah.
We have a guest up here, Mike. Let me see. Tune In Sports is here, Mike.
The
What's up,
man.
dude?
Hey man, what's going on, y'all?
What's up?
Coming up here. I didn't hit the outro this time, so
Nah, you didn't hit that
I want to make
outro.
sure you get up here and get your thoughts off tonight. But Tune, you've heard us ramble about this. We've talked about it a lot behind the scenes, and very fluid situation. What's your thoughts on all this, especially with LeBron last night saying, "I ain't got nothing to talk about."
Well, man, I mean, I expect that from LeBron. I mean, I didn't really expect it. I didn't really expect him to say anything about the current situation of what's going on. We know LeBron. He's very strategic. He'll speak when he had to speak. Everybody knows, him and the organization is just not at the they're not seeing eye to eye. So yeah, I expected that answer from LeBron declining to talk to the broadcast during the summer league. Um, it's still an unknown though. Like I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know he's going to go in there for one more year and whatever. I know you said before that you don't expect him to have a trade on his resume, and we all is expecting a buyout. So I'm just go by, again, it's just a matter of time. It's not if he's leaving because I think we all can agree that he's on his way out of LA. So for me, it's just when is he leaving LA? He's on his way out. He's not going to finish his career there. Whether that's him leaving this year or next year, he's definitely leaving LA. But
Well, they even said they're definitely done with him after this season. So
right, so it's just like both parties are going into two different directions, and I know the trade thing came out. I don't really, I don't really know about the report. I mean, we already talked about the teams being interested in trading for LeBron. That report already came out before about teams, looking to trade for him. So this report came out again. I don't know if that was from his side, maybe Rich Paul. Somebody put that out there. I'm not sure.
Well, Dave McMenamin said that Rich Paul, I think I still have it on deck, actually. We'll replay this report here from last night. He said that Rich Paul told him 4 teams contacted. Now, Scoot B. Robinson added today the 4 teams. Here's the report first, and we'll talk more about it.
Tell you, I can barely walk 5 feet in Vegas without someone approaching me and wondering that very thing. What caused the speculation was a statement by LeBron's agent, Clutch Sports CEO Rich Paul, given to ESPN's Shams Charania when James opted into the final year of his contract with the Lakers for $53 million last month, when Paul said LeBron intends to play on a championship contender for whatever time is left in his career and will be closely monitoring Lakers president of basketball operations, general manager Rob Pelinka's moves to improve the team at a training camp for his record-setting 23rd season in the fall. Now, I've checked in with both the Lakers and LeBron's camp on this one. For the Lakers, it's business as usual. They have motivation to compete at the highest level and maximize not just LeBron's timeline, but they want to compete now with Luka Doncic. Some have posited that the true cause of this situation was the Lakers not offering LeBron a contract beyond next season, but Rich Paul told me that they never asked for one. Paul also made it clear to me that LeBron has not asked for a trade, and Paul hasn't even discussed the possibility of wanting a trade in the future with the Lakers. Paul did tell me that 4 teams contacted him with interest in trading for LeBron, though. So now we wait. The Lakers have a full roster and have a decision to make on Shake Milton's contract by July 20th. They also have 3 expiring contracts in Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, who's here tonight, and Maxi Kleber, plus their 2031 first-round draft pick they can use in trade scenarios. Now, I asked LeBron just before tip-off if he'd like to join the broadcast to discuss everything, and he told me, quote, "I ain't got nothing to talk about."
So there you go. That's the report again from Dave McMenamin. So the one thing that stood out to me, though, there, guys, when I heard that again was the part where he mentioned that someone insinuated that because they didn't offer him a contract extension, that's why all this started, and that's why he's pissed off. And then Rich Paul immediately shot that down and said, no, we never asked for one. And so that sounds like to me the Lakers are probably trying to figure out what this all is coming from when this all started. When they say, I think that probably came from the Lakers side. Like, Is he pissed off that we didn't offer him a contract extension? But I think LeBron, like Rich Paul said, we didn't ask for him because we knew we weren't going to get one. And I don't think they would have took it anyways. That's just my opinion. But I think LeBron, to me, this all just seems like LeBron putting more pressure, not because he wants to make moves, but because he's trying to force his way out of there. And I think his way of doing that is not by trade, because I don't think he wants to trade on his resume, but also he's not going to pull from the team he wants to go sign from. I think, and I don't think the Lakers would be interested in the trade either, because LeBron isn't that no trade clause, like I mentioned earlier. That team he goes to, let's say the Mavericks can give the Lakers any contract they want just to match salaries. And if I'm the Lakers, why would I want bad contracts? Possibly because I'm trying to keep my cap space for our 2026 plan and 27 plan to possibly get Giannis, let's say. And so the buyout makes the most sense. And I think that's why LeBron opted in, is because I think he knows I'm not getting really $53 million next year. But if I can agree to a number, let's say 25, 30 million, and they'll agree to that, I'm still getting paid a good amount of money next year where I still feel my value, and I still get money from the team, the minimum money, and I can still compete for a championship. So it's a win-win for him all around. That's how I see it. But what do you think, Toon?
Yeah, I think LeBron. I mean, they don't want to trade. I think they will prefer a buyout. Like I said before, man, I didn't want him opting in, making things more difficult, man. But that's what get your money, get your 50 million or whatever.
Do you really think LeBron, when he opted in, didn't realize where this was going to go when he did all this? Like, I heard people saying LeBron's stuck, but I just have a hard time believing, too, like I mentioned on your show, that LeBron's ever going to be stuck. How calculated he's been his whole career.
No, yeah, I think he knew what he was doing. I mean, LeBron is always a step ahead, so I don't think he, like you said before, he don't just opt in without having a plan. I think he already know his options and what loophole he can use.
Yeah, and it's interesting too. The Cavs still have 2 roster spots available, and they still have an assistant coaching vacancy. They haven't filled either 3 of those. There's really been no rumors about any players for that roster spot. I think by now we would have had somebody, you would think, you know what I mean, if they weren't interested in LeBron sweepstakes. But clearly, to me, they're monitoring the situation and know what's going on. I think they have an idea what could possibly happen. Have you seen anything? Obviously, you keep up to date on the Cavs side of it. Obviously. I mean, have you seen any rumors about any players, anything with the assistant coach at all?
No, I haven't seen anything. The only thing, the latest was the Kevin Love stuff. That's the latest.
Which is connected to LeBron in a way.
Right. And people out in that, like, you get Kevin Love, then that means LeBron could, be on his way. And we've seen them working out together also.
Yeah. What do you think of that, Mike? That everything, they've just kept those spots open.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know they were working out together. That's actually news to me. I always thought that
well, they worked out together 2 weeks ago when they were in New York. They filmed it. But they were together 2 weeks ago. So right.
Yeah, I always thought it would be cool for Kevin Love to finish his career here too. He was the one that stayed after Kyrie and LeBron both left, and Kevin gave a lot to the city. Went through some stuff with us. So I think it would be awesome if LeBron were to come back for Kevin to also be here and win another ring. I think Kevin deserves it most certainly. And he can still play. He's a great player off the bench. I mean, he can still give you 12, 15 points. He can still rebound. He can still go off. And, he's played with this new core too, and he's familiar with everybody. And I think he would work well in Kenny Atkinson's system.
Now, Toon, I got to ask you this one, because as soon as I saw this comment, I immediately thought of you, because I already know the answer to this, but I still got to ask you. So my man, Param John, said, Jalen for Bronny straight up. I already know your answer. Hell no. But I thought about this actually. It's funny. I actually already thought of it, because I'm like, okay, if we get LeBron on a buyout, you would think they're going to trade for Bronny. Like, he's not going to leave his son out there. And so, it's a courtesy thing that I think the Lakers would do. And I think LeBron obviously would want it. And the Cavs would, all right.
Unless they hold him hostage.
Right. And so I wouldn't do it, Toon, but I think there's a chance that could happen. And I think
absolutely not.
I wouldn't
Absolutely
either.
not.
I'd rather trade the Diener. I'd rather trade the Diener. He can take a
Absolutely
out there.
not, man. Jalen
But
Tyson's not going nowhere. Did you see him in summer league? No.
no, I'm saying I wouldn't.
No,
I'm
no, no,
not.
no. I'm just speaking out
But
loud.
here's where I think it could happen. Because they drafted Tyrese Proctor. The night they drafted him, I was kind of like, I like the pick, but he's the same size, better shooter, but does a lot of the same things that Tyson does, the guy you just drafted. So it's like, was the writing on the wall? I don't know. I'm just speculating. Like, you know what I mean? I wouldn't do it. I agree with you. I'd rather give him Dean Wade and a bag of chips or, you know what I mean, whatever. But I wouldn't want to get rid of Tyson. I like Tyson a lot. You and I agree on that. But I think there's a chance. If this all happens.
A chance for what?
That Tyson might be the guy dealt.
I don't think so.
Do you think? Who do you
would
think would be dealt though? Because I think if they're obviously it would be by trade for Bronny. I mean, I don't think the Lakers would buy out that contract. Well, I mean they could, but he's already on contract for 2 more years. I think they would be a trade. I think they would want a piece for him. Maybe that's LeBron's courtesy.
I think that would be a mistake though. If you trade Tyson for Bron, I think that'd be a mistake because Tyson has a lot of upside. I already told you before, I'm high on Tyson, bro.
Now, Param John said, "Tune, you're acting like Tyson's a superstar in the making. He's like a bench guy, or like he's a bench guy at best. Who cares?"
Nah, man.
Your reaction?
Nah, Tyson has a lot of upside. He has major upside on the offensive end, man, and he's another guy that can handle the ball. He was always supposed to be our Cavs LeVert replacement. That's the whole reason why he
You
traded
called
Cavs
that from the
LeVert.
jump.
Right, that's why that's I seen it. Like, yeah, you draft this guy, he could do the same thing Cash does, but better.
Well, and he's a Swiss Army knife too. He can do a lot of multiple
everything.
things.
Exactly.
I think that's valuable in today's. I think he can become a Neimark kind of guy. I think he has the capability. I think if he gets a little more run and more, play like he is now, he could definitely become that.
Why would you trade Tyson? Like Tyson is a shooting guard, small forward. That's like another wing that you're developing.
Dean Wade to me makes more sense because he said, Anthony Bennett had a lot of upside too.
Oh, come on, man. That's not fair. That's not fair. That ain't even the same thing. Come on, man. Come on,
yeah, I think Tyson's. I'd feel better about Tyson. Anthony Bennett was a wild card. That was a wild card draft, though.
Anthony Bennett was man. No, I ain't gonna get into that.
Shout out to Uncle Iro. He said Lakers fans are honestly evil. Your reaction, Mike?
I mean, they're up there. I mean, they're like Lakers fans, Cowboys fans, Bama fans. Yeah, I'll go off on every fan. I mean, here, Yankees fans, Lakers fans, Bama's fans. They're all bad.
He said.
I mean, it's like
He said, "Want me to explain?" Sure, have at it.
They're the Cowboys fans of the NBA.
Hey,
we got a Cowboys fan.
Hey, Mike, come on, man.
Mike, you cannot. You can't say that either. We have a certain guest up here.
Hey, man, at least wait till I leave, man, and then you could,
Right. Well, we have a cowboy on the show, Mike. You cannot,
just know that I respect you enough to say it to your face. I respect you enough to say it to you.
Hey, Mike, we all ain't the same, Mike. I'll just say that, man. We all ain't the same, so.
Yeah, Mike, I might have to have Tune up here now when I interview a cowboy. I don't know. I might.
Because I understand. Look, I get it.
Mike might start going off on him. He might start. Where are the Cowboys located, Mike?
Oh, you want me to do the thing? Dallas, them boys. I just can't do it, dog. With the here. Jerry World is fine. They're a historic franchise. It's a fine place to watch football, I'm sure. It's all in good fun.
Yeah.
We got a guest, another guest, Mike, who I'm sure he'll be on board with trading D Wade. Jersey's in the house.
Jersey.
Trade Tristan Thompson for Bronny. Tristan Thompson. And a bag of
on the roster right now.
Nah, he's not even on the roster, so you ain't gotta worry about Tristan.
Oh, thank God! Good grief! You couldn't get Bronny out of him. You couldn't even get a high school kid out of him.
Oh man!
Thank God she's gone.
But anyways, Jersey, would you? How about the Diener? Would you trade Dean Wade for Bronny? I know you
No,
went on a Dean Wade rant.
no. Bronny's not even an NBA player. I mean, at least Dean Wade can make a roster, give you some decent minutes. I mean, all I said was you can't be relying on Dean Wade to get us to the finals. You know what I mean? That's what I said. He's a nice little role player, but Bronny's not even that. At least not yet. I don't know if he ever will be. So I wouldn't trade anybody. I wouldn't trade. There wasn't a guy. I mean, other than Tristan Thompson, there wasn't a guy on that bench that I would have traded for Bronny. The guy, he just can't play in the NBA. I mean, if his dad wasn't his dad, would he be in the NBA? Would he even be in the G League? No.
Well, I know, but there's a possibility he's probably going to get traded back here if he does end up here.
Well, if you got to give someone up, well, yeah, to get his father, yeah, I would do that just to get his dad.
Uncle Ira, I appreciate your comments, but certain words I actually cannot have in the comment section just because of YouTube law or rules. And so if you cannot use that word again, please, the certain word. I appreciate I really truly appreciate your comments and stuff, but I cannot have certain things in my chat just because of YouTube stuff. So please respect where I'm coming from in the channel. Thank you.
But I mean, it'd be the only time in history to be a G leaguer that's got a shitload of jersey sales. You know what I mean? I mean, he'd be selling apparel like crazy, and he's in the G League, so he's definitely worth the investment.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on all this, Jersey? You heard what Toon just had to say. LeBron last night said, I showed you the report as soon as we saw it. I ain't got nothing to talk about. We've seen all this stuff escalating day by day and just this whole saga this whole summer. What's your thoughts on all this?
Well, I mean, it's definitely over in LA. I mean, they can't be they can't be more upfront about what their desires are, and that's just for him to leave. So did he really want to leave? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe. But now it's just a it's probably a lot of whichever plan A, plan B, C that he has. He's working those with different teams right now, probably trying to get things lined up. And then, it's like everyone said, you were saying earlier, it has to go through the buyout. You know what I mean? He'll take the buyout and then, take let's just say whatever, take what Cleveland will give him. What do you say? Cleveland give him like $5 million after the buyout?
Yeah, what would that look like, Tim? What would that minimum deal be for LeBron if he came to the Cavs? I don't know the exact number.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could offer him the mid-level exception. Anywhere between 5 probably to 10. I'm not sure about the Cavs, but I know anywhere between 5 and up for the mid-level exception.
I think it's around 5.
Well, and it might not even be the biggest factor. I mean, obviously money's always been the biggest factor for him, but it's also is he eyeing that 15% of the Cavs? He gives him that. Does it give him that foot in the door, which I think it does. I think it's always been the plan. So that's probably the most important aspect of it. So the other thing I think about though is this kid being at Arizona. He's always seemed like he keeps his kids close. I mean, I know they're just a short plane ride away, but still, I don't know if the kid transfers to Ohio State. I don't know, but
they were highly on his list.
Right. I mean, it's always, I'm sure in here. I mean, as much money as he gives Ohio State, and the kid's good. He's better than his brother, so that's going to be no issue. But I still say I still think Dallas is in the mix. And I still never rule out New York.
He ain't going to New York.
Just by what he said when he was younger. So, but I mean, that's here. If I had to pick two, I'm gonna say Cavs and Dallas. And I say Dallas because, obviously, I know someone that's within the family, and they told me that 4 years ago. Was it 4 years ago?
3 years ago.
No, it was more than three because I was still
It was 2022. I remember it.
Yeah, it was early in 2022. So
yeah,
well, maybe in the summer. Maybe the summer had just started. Yeah, they were. He said, everybody was in Dallas. They were all down in Dallas together. The mom, everybody. So, and that situation's kind of worked out to where, obviously that roster they have, and if he was added there, and Jason Kidd's there, AD's there, Gilbert Flag's there, Kyrie's there, I mean, he might see that more attractive than Cleveland. But that 15%,
it's a possibility. But
that 15% could still be there in 2 years. I mean, who knows? When does Dan Gilbert want to have that transaction completed? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think it's one of those two teams. But I certainly think the LA thing is he's not going to be. Like I said this last night, he's never going to allow. No one's ever going to come to a team he was already at and unseat him, which is what LA is doing. But he can go. He can go to a team and make them better, even at 41 years old. As long as he's making them better, then he's the man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's the man at certainly if he comes to Cleveland. He probably would be in Dallas too.
Do you want to clear this? Somebody said that you said that Bronny don't even belong in the G League. He's upset about it. He's upset about your opinion. In response,
it's my opinion. I don't think so. At least when he was drafted. I mean, just what I saw in footage. I mean, it just didn't even look like he belonged in the G League. And
he said you're a typical LeBron hater.
You're actually wrong. I've followed LeBron. I've followed LeBron since his early years in high school. I went to every game. I shut my company down. I went to every game. Joseph could attest to this. And I have spent thousands and thousands on shoes, jerseys, tickets. We've met LeBron. I've actually delivered him automobiles. So I'm not a LeBron hater. I'm just a realist. And I can like LeBron and actually like his son, but it's just I don't believe his son is good enough to be in the NBA. Truthfully, I think he should have played in the NFL. I think he would have been a great receiver.
I think he would have been a hell of a receiver too. He's 6'2", fast. He was built like a receiver.
And jump. That's what he should have did. But here, it can't take anything from the kid. He tried.
But he's gotten better. I think he's gotten better. I mean, Toon, I know you've watched some of their games. I mean, do you think? How do you think he's gotten better from year one to year two?
Yeah, I think Bronny got better. I'm not. Yeah, I think Bronny could be. I think his bread and butter could be on defense and being that size. His offense, it's gonna be his offense. But I think his defense is something that can keep him in get him in the rotation. He could be like that DeAnthony Milton type player. I think he got better though. I saw a couple games. He have his moments. He got his moments.
Well, if he did, then great. I mean, but from what I saw when he was drafted, no. And there was a lot of people. There's a lot of, ex-players. People said that he shouldn't even been in a G League. The younger brother's the better player, and you could see that when the younger brother was in third grade. He just has the acumen for basketball. He's the better player. But here, I'm not taking anything away from the kid. That's tough. And number one, to carry the name, has to carry that name and be compared to his father. He's not as big as his dad. He's not as athletic as his dad, but that kid's he grew up well to do. He's got his own brand, but still, the pressure he's had to carry and the expectations he's had to live up to. And I'm not saying that's from his dad. It could be just from everyone. And he's, if he's getting better in the G League, then great. I mean, I'm not going to take anything from the kid. But I'm just saying, when the Lakers drafted him, he should not have been drafted. Anybody said he should have been drafted in that second round, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind, and I don't know how you could say that. He should have not have been drafted in that second round, and he was only drafted because of who his father was, and he sold him $50 million in jerseys. So it was a great investment by the Lakers. But that's over with. A year later, I hope the kid's done well. I hope he makes it. I hope he improves enough where he get a spot on the roster. I mean, it'd be great. I'd love to see all three of them playing together. But that's just the truth of it.
Yeah. Mike, did you take off? Mike, go ahead and do what you want to do, Mike, with that. Anyways, yeah, go ahead, Mike, do what you want to do with that. But anyways, yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. Obviously, going back to the buyout part of it, though, I mean, that seems like the most realistic path to me. Jersey is a buyout, so I'm curious what you think about that.
Well, yeah. I mean, here you got. I've read both teams. Dallas. I don't know if this is true or not. I just see headlines for articles. The Dallas and the Cavs both said they would only be interested in the buyout. Everyone knows it has to be the buyout. You know what I mean? And with what you said, he doesn't want to take from the team that he's going to go to. So the buyout's the perfect. It's the perfect scenario. He did it the right way. He had himself a player option where he could lock up that money. He could lock up 53 if he wanted to, or he could take a buyout and still get paid handsomely for year 23. He's still on a lifetime contract with Nike. He's still got all his other endorsements. And if we're speculating correctly, will have 15% stake in the Cavs if he chooses. So I don't, this might be the one time that what he makes per year doesn't really matter so much.
But he still gets paid where he feels valued.
Hell yeah. If he's still getting freaking, I don't know, if the Lakers give him $25 million to get the hell out of town, he's still going to make $30 million. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good grief. $30 million. Michael Jordan made that now I know that was years ago, but Michael Jordan made that his last 2 years of the Bulls. I mean, you can get $30 million on year 23 after all the money you've made, and you got the option to buy into a team, and you're going to a great team, and you have the ability to possibly win a championship or two and play with your kids. You know what I mean? Both your kids at the same time. How much money would he pay to play with both of his kids? I'd pay there's no amount of money. You know that. I mean, he forfeit $20 million. Hell yeah, he would. I think he would. What the hell's the matter? He's a billionaire. I'll forfeit $20 million to get myself in a position to play with both my kids before I retire. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Good grief! And then the money you can make just selling doing the documentary on it later on. I mean, it just sets you up for later on too, and sets your kids up. So it's a perfect scenario. I don't think like I said, I think this is the year where what he's going to make isn't the absolute most important thing.
Yeah. We'll just catch up with some of these comments real quick. He said LeBum is not running to the team no more. Not running the team no more. Genie sold the team. Then he said LeBum is losing his hair trying to run the NBA. You guys got a response to that?
He is losing his hair. I don't know.
He already lost his hair.
Okay.
I've been having.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely don't think he runs the league anymore. He always has, but I think that's gone.
I think the league in maximizing the last years of him, because really, I don't see. I mean, you better hope Cooper flags the guy. I don't see that next You know what I mean? Who's the next like LeBron superstar player? Like when Jordan retired, you had Shaq, Kobe, and then here came LeBron and kept it going. I mean, I don't see that guy. I mean, guys, what do you think about that? I mean, I think they obviously want to milk every bit of this left because who's that next guy in terms of like, you know what I mean, the American like superstar that we've always had.
Anthony Edwards has potential to be that maybe in a couple of years, but
Yeah, but I don't. He could, but I feel like he would have hit it by now, like to that level of LeBron.
Well, we
I don't
talking
know,
about he's the it's not too many Americans that you can really
Like I
select.
think Cooper Flag to me is the best chance of being like the guy from the jump of his career is like a phenom and can carry that all the way. Like it's just the top everybody he's must see TV. Everybody wants to see him watch.
Yeah, he's the best prospect I've seen since LeBron. I mean, that dude's for real. But Anthony
Because
Edwards,
I know he had a
has
rough game one the first night, but he bounced back last night. What, he had like 31 last night too, or something crazy, or they saw him play one good game. They shut him down for the rest of the summer league, the Mavericks.
I mean, Anthony Edwards has
He's probably the most talented player in the league.
Yeah, he's got the talent. He's marketable. He's got a great smile. He's, it's can he win? He's got to win first. If he can win, let's just say next year he won. He's the dude now.
He's only 23, still super young too.
My vote's for Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, I like Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, that guy. He kind of is almost like, even if you're not a Minnesota fan, you want to stop and watch him play.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I agree. But here's my thing. Like I'm talking about the category of like the Jordan, the Kobe's, the Shaqs, the LeBrons, right? Those guys were already huge. I mean, I don't know. Here Kobe didn't play his first 2 years. Does that really matter? I guess not. I don't know. I'm trying to look at it as like I'm kind of comparing them to LeBron and Mike in a way, like where those guys were like.
You gotta win in the playoffs. You gotta win in the postseason. You gotta have those primetime games, those close series. That's if Kobe never had.
How many years has he been in the league now? 5.
Ant-Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been like 5 years, 5 seasons, I think. 23.
Yeah, I mean, when did he win his first playoff series? I think it was
Hey, I know he was in the play-in, and then they made the playoffs. He lost in the play-in.
I guess, yeah. He's
been in 2 conference finals. He already been in 2 conference finals.
Yeah, he's on the right trajectory then. I mean, I agree. He has all the superstar capability. I like Anthony Edwards. I think, like I said, I think he's the most talented player in the league. Yeah, I could see that. Ant-Man, I think it'd be Ant or Cooper to me. Both are from here. Like I think it's all. You know, what I mean, I just think. Is that somewhat a big deal, Jersey? I think it is, where a guy's either from here or he's not. Because a lot of these guys,
absolutely, it is. Absolutely, it is.
Because you watch them grow up before, especially with all the AAU coverage now.
Everything.
You know what I mean? Like
here, overall, the majority they want to see if they want to invest their I don't know who they like, their time watch. They want it to be somebody from here. They identify. I don't identify with some cat from Lithuania or Serbia. I mean, yeah, I like Jokic, and I don't want that guy to be the guy. You know what I mean? I don't. I'm not. I think the NBA. I really would. I mean, it took them more global, but I think Euro players watered down the league. I think they're good players. They're good basketball players, but I don't know. The NBA, I grew up watching. I mean, I just love athleticism and physical basketball. And I mean, I like guys from my country. And so I think a lot of people feel the same way. I'm not saying these guys are here. Jokic's a great player, and a lot of these guys they're good basketball players, and a lot of them play basketball the right way, but they just don't have that stardom, that star power that You know what I mean? That you don't just, God, I got to get home and watch Jokic. You know, and I keep saying Jokic because I think he's the best. And damn, he's probably top 1 or 2, 3 players in the league right now, and he's foreign. But I'm not getting home and getting situated to turn on Nikola Jokic. You know what I mean? I'm just not. So here, I look at it as almost like we're going to war. I want my country to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At all costs. So that's how I am. I want it to be like an Anthony Edwards. I want it for somebody from here. I want a guy to. I want a guy to. I want the story. I want the guy that grew up, came from shit. You know what I mean? Came from nothing and went through adversity and and climbed to the top of the mountain. That's what I want, and I want him from this country.
Yeah, you
And
guys.
I think a lot of people think the same way.
Anybody else got anything they want to add to that?
Well, yeah, I think a lot of people that's from here probably agree. I mean, Stephen A even came out and said that like the league do not want the face to be a person that's not from here, right? In the other world that's caught up, I guess you could say. It's a lot of overseas players that's basically when you look at it, a lot of overseas players is at the top of the list as the best players in the world. The SGAs, the Jokic, who else? Wembanyama. These guys are coming. They're already taking over. We don't have many Americans at the top of the list. Anthony Edwards, Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum.
Flag.
Yeah, but we Cooper Flag got to get his feet wet first. But yeah, Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
Cooper Flag. Ja Morant. I think Ja Morant should be in the conversation. Yeah, should have been Zion, but
Zion and Ja should have been. But
they shot their legs off.
From America, isn't he?
Who's that?
Is Tyrese Halliburton American?
Yes.
Yeah.
Halliburton's up there for me.
Yeah, but I don't think for me he wouldn't be in the conversation like for what we trying to talk about. I wouldn't have him in the conversation with like Anthony Edwards and them guys. Halliburton, yeah, he's like definitely top 5 guard. But we talking about like the being that face and the next big thing.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think about the 3 major sports we have. 2 of them are just full of foreign players. Imagine if the NFL is dominant as the NFL is, and I get it because it's a combat sport, and that's what we're attracted to. That's what we love, and the NFL is the best at marketing. But imagine if the NFL just started bringing in all these players from England and Canada. It wouldn't be the NFL anymore. I'm telling you, it wouldn't be the same. You know what I mean? That's why we love the NFL so much. It's our players. It's our people. It's football. It's American football. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's guys that grew up. It's guys that grew up in the South. It's guys that grew up on farms. Guys that grew up in the inner city. It's guys that just played Pop Warner or just regular youth football. And it's a different kind of person that plays football too. And I think that's just what us as Americans are attracted to. We're just attracted to that. I mean, we identify with that, especially here in Ohio. You know what I mean? It's the Mecca. It's the ground zero of football, Northeast Ohio, and I mean, nobody ain't running out to all the basketball games on Friday nights. You know what I mean? Football games.
But yeah, I know.
Well, it's not like high school football. You know what I mean?
No, that's a different stigma. I got yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's.
I do though. I go to all the games. But
well, here, I am. I mean,
yeah. I want to get shout out to Tyrone Smith. Thanks for tuning in. He said LeBron still runs the star power, and that's a fact. The media knows it, be it social or mainstream. Period.
I agree, but somebody's got to replace him,
right? But
now,
right now, we don't. There's not that right. So that's why. But even at 41, he's still. That's why all these headlines are coming out this offseason. That's why he's driving the offseason so far. But I got this from last night, though, from Donovan Mitchell, too, and he joined the broadcast during the Cavs Summer League game and made some interesting comments here about Evan Mobley and just kind of how his role as a player also is taking a back seat in the way. Some interesting comments from Donovan here.
It's a little letdown, man. It sucks. But, we use it as fuel, and we'll be ready for it.
Actually, give me 1 second.
Development since you've been in Cleveland has been
I think, very underrated of how you've turned into not just a like, here, let's put the offense on my back guy, but the development of Darius Garland, of Evan Mobley, of basically everyone that's been there. Is that something that you had a discussion with Kenny or obviously JB when they was there, or is that just something you've seen and said, hey, like as your maturity, this is what I know we need to do to win, or what I need to do to help this team win?
It was definitely a conversation. I think it was something that, you always talk about everybody's willing to sacrifice until it's their turn, and what does that look like? What does that look like for me? And, understanding that the minutes are going to be down, points, all the things that I've been accustomed to in my career are going to be down in order to use that to develop. And that's really my mindset was, understanding that, look, allow Evan to grow. Evan Mobley, it's crazy. I tell you all the time, what he's doing now is phenomenal, and I'm not taking credit for that. And obviously, leadership and empowerment, which is huge, but, he puts the time in. It's one thing to lead, but also to, see somebody want it as bad as he does, which is truly at his age and what he's accomplished. And then also Darius Garland. He was an all-star before I got here. So he's just stepping back into form. And, for those two guys, just to allow them to continue to take those steps. Because at the end of the day, I know what I'm going to do. I know that's for the group, for the Ty Jeromes, Elisha Max, whoever, DeAndre Hunter, Jared Allen, continue to allow those guys to flourish. Makes it so difficult to beat.
Is it crazy that you did that and then your first team all NBA still it's like, oh, I get to do this, and then now our team is better, and I'm still at where I'm at respect-wise within the league. It shows your talent and your skill set. But keep going. JG got a great question. I don't know, maybe.
You in that conversation with Taylor, you talked about Evan Mobley being more vocal and demanding the ball from you and Darius.
Yeah.
I'm curious. There was a big push out of Cleveland that you should have been in the MVP conversation this year, despite your numbers taking a step back because what you did for the greater good. Do you believe that in order for your team to get where you want to go, does Evan Mobley need to be in the MVP conversation?
1,000%. And I think, two things can be true. I think understanding that the MVP conversation, I think when we talk about the MVP, we think of 30, 10, and 10, like Jokic. We think of Shai Gilgeous, like averaging 30. There's so many different ways. And, if Evelyn turns around and is a 40, 30 point per game scorer, I'm not complaining whatsoever. But I think what he does for our group, just that alone, outside of what I think we look at stats too much. Look what his plus minus. Look what our record was when he wasn't out there on the floor. Like, he's just so important to our group. That alone gets him into the MVP competition. But I also feel the step that he's going to take, for us to continue to get to that level, he has to be at least somewhat in that conversation.
Great defensive.
High praise there, fellas. From Donovan Mitchell about Evan Mobley. Obviously, no surprise. We all know what Evan Mobley is. But two, what's your thoughts on what he had to say there? I thought, we'll start with the Evan Mobley part. When he said it, Evan has to be in the MVP candidate conversation. He believes for them to take the next step. Your thoughts?
I agree. I agree with Donovan. I know when I was talking to Ryan Hollins, former Cavalier, I spoke with him. He told me that he was saying that he felt like Evan Mobley could be in the MVP conversation. He could be probably behind Jokic as one of the best bigs. That's how he gave high praise to Evan Mobley, and that was like, what was that, last year or 2 seasons ago? I think Mobley, he just like he said, got to demand the ball more. And I told you, I wrote you in the chat before. I was like, I think this upcoming season, I expect Mobley to be in that 20 points per game range. Like, we expect him to take the next league. I think he could boost his numbers as we get him more involved this year. But it's all about the development of Evan Mobley and him taking a leap, getting him more involved, and letting Darius kind of, just take that step back. It should be Donovan, Mobley as the main guys. Darius could still facilitate and do what he do, but we have to get Mobley more involved. Like, this need to be Mobley's show. Like, Donovan's still the guy. He's still a leader, still the best scorer. But I think Evan Mobley need to be that best player on a team for you to like go far and win the championship.
Mike, your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree with Tune In. I mean, Mobley has to be your X factor. He's already won Defensive Player of the Year. He's grown exponentially, and he's still super, super young. He's just got to get a little bit more vocal. Donovan Mitchell's even said like basically basically he's asking Evan Mobley to get on his ass when he's not passing the ball enough to him. He's like, Donovan Mitchell said, I want him to do that. He's like, I want him to be more vocal if he's not getting the ball. He should be getting X amount of shots per game.
Yeah,
I
more
mean,
than he
Donovan
got in
Mitchell's.
some of those games in the playoffs. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
exactly.
Don't get me
And
started. Go ahead.
no. I mean, that's exactly it. Like Donovan Mitchell sees the potential and see what's there. Evan just has to continue to get stronger. He's just got to continue to work on his offensive game, which is already good, but it can be great just with the way he plays. And here, if he takes another leap and LeBron does come back, like we've all been saying, I mean, that's the win button right there. That's a banner.
Jersey, what you think about Donovan?
Well, here I've heard it before. I've heard it from LeBron. I heard it from Anthony Davis. Remember that time when they played the Cavs? And I've said that since Mobley was drafted, that I felt like 5, 6, 7 years down the road, this guy could arguably be the best player in the NBA. I just think he needs just that little bit of leadership. I'd love to see him do it like LeBron did, go work with Olajuwon or somebody like that to help him with his post game, become more dominant in the post. But I think a guy like LeBron, if he came to Cleveland, was there 2 years, that alone, what that could do for Mobley. You know what I mean? Just could get him out of his shell, get that confidence even higher. Just that level of expertise. So the guy can do everything, and and he's not even there yet. He's not even. I mean, defense player of the year, but he's not even near his peak yet. But like I said, they got to get him more touches. Again, I'd love to see him just, I know he can shoot the outside shot, but become just dominant down in the paint. You know what I mean? And he has that athleticism that you take a guy like Olajuwon. That's what separated him from the other bigs, was just how athletic he was down the paint and his footwork. Mobley has that. And
well, not to that level, but I give you.
Well, no, but he's his footwork's awesome though. You know what I mean? So, but if he just, I'd love to see him get with a guy like that, just like LeBron did. It helped his post game, and that alone could probably, take him just even higher to a higher notch. So,
yeah, I thought one thing, I agree with all you guys about Evan. I mean, I think Evan can be as great as he wants to be, but I think one thing that he mentioned there too in the beginning of that was he's talked about him taking a lesser role. Like, I know I'm going to play less minutes, and I'm going to take less shots in certain games. He's under the mindset of, sacrifice for the team, obviously, since he's been here. But even now, if you insert a LeBron James into this, I mean, he's really, even LeBron at 41, I think there's still sacrifice there for Donovan. Toon, how do you think that looks if you insert LeBron? I mean, especially with Donovan and Evan and obviously Darius, how do you think the adjustment would be? Who would take the biggest sacrifice, you think? I mean, how would that look like?
That's a good question, man. I mean, Donovan already took a sacrifice, already took a step back this past season. We all know Donovan could score anytime he want. He could average 30. I mean, he basically almost did that while being here. But his numbers could drop. But I don't know. Donovan already sacrificed. I think I think Mobley has to be the guy. So LeBron comes here. I don't expect LeBron to mess anything up. I trust Kenny Atkinson to run the offense. Have Mobley still bringing up the ball. Because the way we move the ball around, everybody usually touch the ball and eat. Get back to playing our brand of basketball. But I think Donovan already took a sacrifice. Darius need to, like I said, play his role and take a step back. We don't need LeBron to be that guy coming here. LeBron's 40 years old. I think he can just plug in when he fit. But yeah, I think Donovan already showed that he sacrificed already.
How do you think LeBron would fit in with Kenny Atkinson? Because the one thing that intrigues me about Dallas is they have Jason Kidd, obviously, they added Frank Vogel, and they added Phil Handy. All his guys there. There's a lot of connections there, obviously, with the Lakers team and the Cavs, even, but with Phil Handy, but who was also with him in LA. I mean, what do you think of that, too? How do you think a LeBron Kenny Atkinson relationship? How do you think that would look like?
A relationship?
Yeah, like how do you think LeBron would play under a coach like Kenny Atkinson with his style? Because that's always been something in LeBron's career, obviously, with the coaches. Obviously, it's I mean, obviously he went into a Spoelstra, who was a extension of Pat Riley, and it worked. They clashed in the beginning, but I think LeBron understood how great Spoelstra was in a lot of ways. And obviously when he came here with David Blatt, then they ran him out and put in Tyronn Lue. Then he's had many coaches in LA since he's been there. So seems like JJ Redick, although I don't think it's enough to maybe keep him around, but still likes JJ and respects JJ. I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
No, I think Kenny Atkinson is a real coach. And I think LeBron would, let Kenny Atkinson coach him. I think they're fit because Kenny Atkinson, he's been around. He's been around different coaches. He's been in different systems. He got a championship. I think him and LeBron would get along great. I think LeBron would fit with what Kenny Atkinson trying to do. I think moving the ball, like the ball movement. I mean, just making it easier on everybody. And I think LeBron will fit in well with this group.
Well, and one thing too, LeBron's always had a high admiration for the Golden State Warriors organization. Like he always speaks highly about Golden State. I think that's where a lot of that. Whenever you hear LeBron on the move, whatever, you always hear the Warriors brought up. I think because he just has a high admiration for how they operate. He's always had great respect for the Warriors and just how he loves how they run things. And obviously, Kenny comes from that tree. He went to He had success there, but he went to Golden State. Really grew up as a coach there. Or, I don't say grew up, but evolved more. And that's just that culture under Steve Kerr and everything. So I think that could maybe be an attraction to LeBron. You really have a guy that's like an extension from that here now, running the team. And you saw the success he had year one. Mike, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, he's I think Kenny, his system is very player friendly, always has been. I think his connection to the Golden State Warriors, I mean, I'm sure that LeBron is familiar with Kenny Atkinson in some way, shape, or form. And he wouldn't have been openly flirting with the Cavs this whole NBA offseason if he wasn't comfortable with the way Kenny's doing things, or because I think we're past the point of LeBron more or less picking a coach or kicking a coach out for another. Like that's not what he's looking for. I think he's looking for a spot where he can just kind of plug and play. And I think Kenny Atkinson's system in this team is exactly what would work for him.
Yeah, and Jersey, obviously your take on this, but also, do you think it's probably not a coincidence Kenny hasn't filled that top assistant spot yet, or he hasn't replaced one of his top assistant spots yet either? Because the one guy, Jordan Ott, left to be the head coach of the Suns. They tried getting Jared Dudley, LeBron's guy, but he got more money in Denver. But that spot is still open.
Yeah, I don't think that's a coincidence. But I agree with you. And he has admiration for the Warriors. I mean, that's who he had to be. That's who he lost to the year before, lost to again the year after. So, I mean, there's obvious respect for the Warriors and how they operate. So I think if LeBron was to come here, he's going to know that Kenny Atkinson, he's okay with Kenny Atkinson's processes, and he'll trust where he came from. But at the same time, Kenny Atkinson then he has to yield to LeBron. He has to yield to LeBron's basketball intelligence, LeBron's track record, LeBron's body of work. You just don't coach LeBron like you coach everybody else. You know what I mean? LeBron he just gets different privileges. As long as he's showing up on time or early, obviously he's probably an on-time guy, or as long as he's being a great employee, great teammate, you let him do what the hell he wants. And you actually, take his advice. You actually use him almost like another coach. That's how you have to treat a guy like that. You can't treat him like a 5-year player, a 10-year player. You got to treat him like a guy that's got 20-something years in the league that probably knows more about basketball than 99% of the people in the league, including coaches. Has won gold medals, has won NBA championships. You got to treat him that way, and because you got to. That's how you're going to get the most out of him. And I don't think there'd be a clash at all. I think it's because I think he would trust Kenny Atkinson's pedigree, I should say, and hopefully Kenny Atkinson would understand that here this guy comes in, this is a different kind of cat. You know what I mean? I gotta coach this guy differently. I gotta barely coach him. You know what I mean? I gotta gain his respect. That's the thing. Kenny Atkinson has to gain LeBron's respect, and that's gonna happen every day in practice and in games and timeouts. You know, players being drawn up. That's how he's gonna gain LeBron's respect. So how he coaches the other players. So yeah, it's absolutely possible. And I think those guys, all those guys on that team would benefit. I think they all need it. I think that was what was missing, is they just didn't have the leadership. They don't know how to win at that level right now, and they need somebody to come in and do that. And I would hope if LeBron was coming here, that would be his goal. His goal wouldn't be to come here and be dominant on the ball. And I mean, obviously, I think he would. A lot of times he's playing, it's just who he is, but he's coming here taking a role of helping a team get over the hump. Taking a role of helping each one of these guys get to a higher level. Teaching these guys to be true professionals, professional basketball players. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So if you can do that, that's what makes a team a championship team. That's why you always hear about need veterans on a team. They teach guys how to become that, and especially in the postseason. When shit gets tough and shit starts going wrong and there's adversity, they lead. They lead on the floor. They lead in practice. They lead in the film room. And then next thing you know, those guys are 10 years down the road. They're doing it for the guys behind them. That's how it has to be.
Well, gentlemen, great show tonight as always. I guess to wrap it up, though, do we all go around the panel real quick? Do we all expect a buyout, or if you were a betting man right now, you had to put all your money in your bank account on one? Do you bet that LeBron is a Cavalier night one, or is he still a Los Angeles Laker, Mike?
As of right now, I would say he's probably leaning towards the Cavs. I'm going to say Cavalier.
Shout out to Wally's in the chat, our boy Wally too, and he said, "I am late." GD.
Shout out to Wally, man.
Shout out to Wally from the 330 jersey. Wally's crazy. He just said he don't. Wally's probably the only guy that says, "I don't want that old man back here."
Yeah, he's definitely
from Akron. Don't want him back. So
definitely not team LeBron. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Wally though, my guy, our guy. But Toon, what would you bet that he's a Cav night one or a Laker?
I'm gonna be honest, man. I can't. It's so hard to really. I want to say Cavs, but I just can't. LeBron's just so difficult, bro. Like I really don't know what to say. I'm gonna go with everybody else. I'm gonna say Cavs, but I'm just like I don't know. Like anything can happen with this guy. Like I don't think he should be a Laker. Like after hearing everything that's going on, but I would be surprised. Right?
Yeah, I wouldn't either. You never know. But Jersey, I know. Like a lot of people mentioned, LeBron's just doing all this for attention because he's not the guy anymore, and he'll still be a Laker. Blah blah blah. Somebody we heard say that. I mean, what if you had to bet all your money, Jersey? Where's he gonna be playing next year? Night one.
He will not be in LA, and that person, whoever said that, they said it. He's not the guy anymore in LA, and he's not going to sit there and not be the guy. You know what I mean? LA's run its course. LA has moved on. He's not going to sit there and just be.
And a lot of people I hear, but a lot of people I hear that say that they always bring up he's not getting traded, but they don't ever bring up a buyout. Like,
no, they just don't probably. They don't understand it. They don't look into it as much as you do, or Toon does, or other people. But he's not going to have this career and then sit there and be the number 2 guy on a team that's not going to win anything, which is the key. They're not going to win anything. They're not winning in the next couple of years. They will even tell you that. So he's not going to sit there and be Luka Doncic,
Scottie Pippen,
right-hand man. Yeah, in the last 2 years of his illustrious career. You know what I mean? So he is not going to be in LA. The question is, where is he going to be? He's not going to be in LA. I bet everything on he's not going to be an LA Laker. But I'm with Toon. You just don't know. You don't know what the hell this dude's going to do. But just when you think it all makes perfect sense, he does something. I still keep
up to
but I think it's Dallas gives him a great chance. I mean, and Dallas has positioned themselves for it. With the people they've brought in. But Cavs do too, and the Cavs are always going to be appealing because it's home, it's the story, it's the storybook ending. Be great for his kids. They'd be more comfortable here. He could have ownership opportunity. So it's just you just don't know. I mean,
Toon Wiley said, "Shout out Tomlin." Shout out to Tomlin.
Shout out to Tomlin. Yeah, he's that I'm high on him too, man.
What'd you think of the game yesterday, real quick?
Yeah, Tomlin is a beast, man. I said that he's next up, man. I think he's one of those guys that can actually. I know y'all want Imani Bates, but I think Tomlin got a chance to get on the roster. If he continue to play how he's been playing and showing that he's hungry and doing all the right things, I really think he can get a full-time roster spot. And it's crazy because he just started playing basketball. Like he got a crazy story. He just started playing basketball in college. It's crazy.
Who was the best player on the Cavs yesterday for you?
I like Tomlin, man.
Tomlin over Tyson?
I like both. Tyson had a good game the first game too.
And the rookie had a nice game too.
Yeah. I think Tyson and Tomlin. I think they both at the top. Tomlin been consistent.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna answer my own question. If I was betting on my money, I'm gonna agree with you, Jersey. I don't think there's any way in hell. I just don't see how the Lakers would want him back in that building. I could be wrong. Would it surprise me if he's still Laker night one? Night one? Hell no. But I don't think you go this far to this extent at this point in your career unless you're making a move. And I think he'll be a Cav. I think if he does become free in a buyout situation, I think he will obviously sit with the Dallas Mavericks and probably a couple other teams just for whatever. I think the Mavs will make a good push. I think Kyrie will still obviously have some influence in that, and all the guys there, all that he has connections to. It is a team that I think he would be attracted to, obviously. But I think at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, I think the Cavs make the most sense. The slot's wide open for him. It's the easiest fit, and it's also the easiest path. You remember, Kyrie's not coming back next year until at the latest right before the playoffs. And so I know he just got back. He's starting to move around again, and he can get back quicker, but that's still an unknown. Does that factor into it? Possibly.
The Anthony Davis health,
which LeBron already knows all about. So I know that's his guy, but he knows. I mean, and Klay Thompson looks pretty good this offseason, but it's not the same Klay. I think we all say that, but he's still effective. Obviously, still a great player because of his shooting. But And then they have a lot of great bigs and everything, and Jason Kidd and all that. They just brought in Phil Handy and all that. But although I don't know about the Phil Handy side of it though. I brought that up the other day on your side tune, on your show too, excuse me, because him and LeBron seem to always have a relationship. And I still think they have a great relationship. And obviously I don't know, I'm just speculating, but he wasn't brought back to that Lakers staff when JJ Redick took over. And at that time, they had just taken LeBron's son. I think LeBron still had power a year ago, clearly. They didn't bring him back, and I always thought that was kind of odd. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So then maybe that doesn't mean anything. Is what I'm getting at. That may not mean much.
Yeah.
Because I always thought that was kind of odd. He wasn't brought back, but he didn't coach at all in the NBA last year, so I don't think so. And so, but I'm sure LeBron maybe has somebody else. I think again that spot's still open on that bench. There's him, and there's another slot available on that roster. But again, the East is the easiest path. And I think LeBron's actions have signaled Cleveland, not even just last week, but as soon as he entered back in that arena for that game, whatever it was against the Celtics last year in that playoff game, that wasn't by accident. Ever since that day, I said, okay, this is really, and that was the first time I ever started covering him coming back on this show. Was back then I called it LeBron's last dance coming up. He's got to make a decision what that's going to look like. And ever since he walked in that arena that night for that game against Celtics, I always thought, okay, the door's opening. He's coming back, and he's feeling it out, looking around. I thought when he went back to the facility a week ago, I thought that was the same thing. It was a signal, and I thought it makes the most sense. That's the best story beginning. And I think the 15% that Dan Gilbert threw out right before all this came out may not be by accident. I think that's something LeBron, obviously we heard from Maverick Carter in the past, say that's something he'd definitely be interested in. Some people have even speculated that are close to LeBron that maybe it's a wink deal already done when he came back in 2014. So I think it makes the most sense here. It's the easiest path, and I think the league would want that too.
The throwback jerseys too.
Yeah, they're bringing back the same jerseys that they wore when he was here the first stint, the one that he famously took off in the Celtics tunnel. He could put that back on and rewrite that. They're bringing those back next year. I don't think that's perfect time for those if he comes back.
Well, they also need for that 8:00 time slot on
the East Coast.
Because you got all these guys that are hurt. I mean,
that's what I said earlier. I've been saying. I think the NBA would be more interested in him being in the East Coast because there is no real box office star next year in the East Coast.
No.
And LeBron in Cleveland, people are going to be tuning in to watch because it's the last stint.
Absolutely. Even if you hate LeBron, you're turning in. He's polarizing. You know what I mean? And it's the story.
The whole story. Yeah.
Yeah. Back home. So.
I think it makes the most sense. And they brought in Lonzo. I think LeBron loves, and this team is built for LeBron. It is catered for him. He's got people in the front office he's really close with, obviously. So to me, it makes the most sense. So I had to bet my money to say the Cavs. Well, Tune, I appreciate you coming up here tonight, brother. Everybody needs to go subscribe to Tune In Sports, right, Mike? I mean, it's great Cavs content. I know Mike pops in on the chat. Jersey, you've been watching too. When I go on there, and they need to go subscribe to Tune In Sports.
Absolutely.
Right now.
Absolutely appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, make sure y'all subscribe, man. Like, comment. I reply. Subscribe to Tune In Sports, man. I appreciate y'all.
They better subscribe, Mike.
They better. I'll find you.
And why should they subscribe, Mike? Or Jersey, anybody. I know you guys both watch.
Subscribe, and share to Tune In Sports and to our show because we're all just up and coming gentlemen doing the show and covering the sports that we love. We try and read every comment, all that good stuff. We want to thank you all so much for your support. And if we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers here by the end of the summer. So if you could subscribe, possibly share this content, or like or commenting helps us in the algorithm as well. But
and they better get us to 1,000, Mike, because you're getting that tattoo.
I am getting a tattoo at 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, you gotta get that tattoo, man.
All right, here. I'm a man of my word. I will get that tattoo. We will live stream a 3.5-hour tattoo.
And that tattoo will be the Cleveland Browns dog logo with wearing a something Shador Sanders chain. So
yes.
Well, Mike, appreciate it, brother. They gotta get going. So I'll see you on the next one, Mike. Jersey, you want to tell me to subscribe to this channel and Tune In Sports?
because it's just great content, man. Just does a great job all week long, just researching and trying to put factual information out the best possible. Great takes. He's fair with his guests. I mean, anyone could come on. Anyone can share what they have to say as long as it's clean. It's not, something of getting banned. But, it's just fair. And that's what all you could want. I think that's what people want when they watch a show. They just want to hear things. They want to hear both sides. They want it to be fair. And and it's like I said, the show was started from nothing, man. It was just a dream. It was a thought. It was a laptop and a microphone, and just went up and did it one day on a Saturday at freaking 3:00. It's 4:00. I still remember the time. And it's you go back and if you get a chance here, and the basis of it is so much more than sports. It's about real life and mental health. And go back and just watch episode 1. If you're new to this show, go back and watch episode 1. Has nothing to do with sports, but it'll give you an idea where this came from and give you a whole different level of respect, I would think. So everybody have a great week. Tune. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for being loyal. And see you guys next week. And make sure you subscribe to Tune. Because I said so.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Dirty says so. Yeah, make sure y'all subscribe, man.
Yeah, subscribe to Tune In Sports. You want all things Cavs, NBA, more of this type of stuff tonight, go subscribe to him for sure. Well, obviously, I go over there as well, and he comes over here, obviously, anytime he wants. So,
of course,
gentlemen, I appreciate you guys for coming up here. And Tune, when are you going to be live again? So people can keep a lookout for that.
Man, we do weekdays, usually in the afternoon, 1-2 o'clock ish. So yeah, y'all can find me around that time. Maybe tomorrow, just to probably pop up. So yeah, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Maybe tomorrow. So keep an eye out tomorrow for a live stream, man. But yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. For Joseph, man, and the guys. They do great work over here. But yeah, so it's all about the journey, man. All about the journey. But I appreciate y'all, man.
Absolutely appreciate you.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, we appreciate you. We're all going to get there together. And so one day we'll all be together in a studio, too. Me, Tune, Jersey, Mike, Humble will be in there. He's already
even Humble.
Humble's there. He'll be.
You gotta get Humble in there.
Humble's driving 100 miles an hour here to get here. I mean, we'll have everybody in there. It'll be a big party. That'll be a live stream, all live stream.
We gotta get Humble in there.
Yeah, we'll be working towards that. And so, I appreciate you guys coming on tonight, and I'll close it up. So,
all right, man. Salute, fellas.
Salute. Yeah, and so appreciate you guys tonight. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. If you'd like to donate to the channel as well, you can hit up the Cash App. There's my Cash App right there. If anyone wants to donate, and as people were asking, so there you go. Thank you very much for any donation. And shout out to I didn't miss this comment. I see you. Tyrone Smith said, "Great show, guys." Tyrone, appreciate you for joining tonight. First time seeing you. And, hopefully to see you back here. Please subscribe and good. We'll see you, Wally. He said the wait will be over. Salute to you, brother, and like, subscribe, show the good stuff, and we'll see you guys next one. I'm out of here.
Thank you.